We just want to tell you a bit about our good friend Gary Pykare. He was an outstanding firefighter, a great captain. He was hired in 1964 at only 23 years old. And great firefighter, aggressive. He's one of those guys everybody wanted on their truck. And just 13 years into his career, at 36 years old, he was diagnosed with cancer. The doctors told him that he only had a 50-50 chance of living for just 5 years. As tough as Gary is, he lived another 18 years and he lived that life to its fullest. He took care of firefighters. He was there for firefighters every step of the way. He was an excellent conduit between labor and management, the union and fire department management. He was as loyal as a Phoenix firefighter could possibly be and as loyal as a local 493 member could possibly be. He was a man we all wanted to be like.
His natural capabilities and characteristics fit into what we hired he and every other firefighter to do. And that was and still is, plain and simple, to fight. When there is a problem, they call you, you pack up, hit the road, size up what's going on, you get in between the problem and who and what you're going to save, and you don't run away. Where and how this occurs defines us as firefighters more than any other single thing. It always has, it always will. Anyone who was around Gary for very long could identify a very special set of things about him that emerged from that basic fire street definition. What you could see pretty quickly was he was very smart and very capable. He kept his promise to his team, to those he protected, and to himself. He cared how people were treated. He was tough. He did never snivel, ever.
He spent an incredible amount of time and energy being a safety net, holding people up, being there when they slipped, and keeping them from completely falling. A great guy, nice man, tougher than nails, a voice of reason, a heck of a truckie and a fire officer, a union leader, a tremendous companion, and a friend. And the difficult part of having someone as special as Gary in our lives is dealing with the sadness of someday losing him.
We talked towards the end about what he wanted to do and you know, what did he want me to do and everybody else. He did ask me to say something for him, and because he was involved in the hiring of so many people, and he was involved in affecting so many people's lives. So he asked me to ask you to remember when you went in for your oral interview, to remember what you told him in the oral interview in terms of what kind of a firefighter you would be. And he asked me to tell you that he's going to be looking, because Gary won't be denied, and that you have an obligation to live the rest of your career the way you told him you were going to be in the oral interview. That you owe that to him. And if you do that, and if all of us do that, Gary will continue to be taking care of everybody just as he did in his life. He'll continue to be taking care of everybody in his death.
Even back then, the same basic questions were asked. Why do you want to be a firefighter? What will you do to make the fire department better? And there are standard answers that we basically all give. But do we really mean them? Gary was there to make sure that we meant what we said. He would hold you accountable to the words that you spoke during your interview. You had to live your interview your entire career for Gary Pykare. In my opinion, the Gary Pykare Award is the most valuable award you could receive in the training academy. It recognizes that firefighter who arrives early, stays late, one who gives 100% of their time and effort in everything they do, and most importantly, one who is there for their brothers and sisters in good times and in bad. The award is even more special because the recipient receives the award from their peers.
Your beginnings make you what you are. In the beginning, he fought in the street to help, to save, to do his best. He then fought for us to make things better. Gary fought cancer so well once again because of who and what he was. He fought cancer like he fought fire. He didn't let it scare him. He took care of his guys. He never went defensive. He covered his priorities, and he always attacked. Gary lived like what he was, an old-time firefighter who tillered ladder 1, and that's as good as it gets for a Phoenix firefighter.
I would do it again and again and again, but of course it's one of those things, you know, it's kind of like the blind hog finding the acorn, and I just feel very fortunate to have ended up in this position. I just think this has been a greatest life anybody could ever ask for.